Thank you and welcome to my channel, Simply Your World, where we discuss past and present events that will affect you if they haven't already. In my past couple of videos, I spoke about the medical benefits and the monetary profits that can potentially gain from a first, second, or third trimester fetus. I've also spoken about how people's sexual preferences could be the potential drive for this want for abortions. And if things stay the way they are, it could lead to the collapse of multiple industries. Now, tonight, I want to talk about the reason why I feel there is a want to stop abortions, right? On a much deeper level than sexual preferences, money could ever buy, right? I want to talk about the high mortality rate in the Caucasian race with a focus on skin cancer, more specifically the skin cancer called melanoma, who it affects, how it affects them, percentages, and demographics. In this video, this is my correlation between, like I said, the decline of the Caucasian race and the reasons why they want to stop abortions, okay? In past videos, I've talked about this before, and I've pointed to opioids, gay sex marriage, interracial sex and marriage, lifestyle changes or lifestyle decisions, such as just not ready to have children because you're not in the right place, so on and so forth, and the mortality rate. And like I said, we're going to focus on a heavy focus on the mortality rate and why I believe abortions are being stopped in America. But first, I want to read Revelation 16, 8 through 11, so we can get a deeper perspective on what we're about to get into. After this video, please visit Revelation 16 so you can get a full context of this scripture. Revelation 16, 8 through 11. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and the power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. And men were scorched with great heat, and blasphemed the name of God, which has power over these plagues. And they repented not to give him glory. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their teeth for pain, and blasphemed the God of heaven because of their pains and their swords, and repented not of their deeds. Very deep, very telling for what we're about to get into. Okay, there's a lot of things that the black man can't do to the powers that be. No matter what happens to us, no matter what happens to the people across the world, there's a certain race of people that can't be touched, seem like. They're so far ahead when it comes to agriculture, science, so on and so forth. There has to be a divine intervention. And this is what we're talking about tonight. The divine intervention of the Caucasian race and their demise, and my direct correlation between the reason why they want to stop abortions as well. Please stay with me. This is going to be interesting. Check this out. Now, this article is from the American Cancer Society, and this is what I mean by percentages and demographics and who it affects. And it's going to get deeper as we get into the slides. It's going to get much deeper. Key statistics for melanoma and skin cancer. Cancer of the skin is by far the most common of all cancers in the United States. Melanoma accounts for only about 1% of skin cancers, but causes a large majority of skin cancer deaths. Melanoma is very, very dangerous to this one class of people. What are the risks of getting melanoma? Having lighter skin color is a major risk factor of melanoma for melanoma. Overall, the lifetime risk of getting melanoma is about 3%, 1 in 33 for whites, 0.1%, 1 in every 1,000 for blacks, and 0.5%, 1 in every 200 for Hispanics. But each person's risk can be affected by a number of factors, which are described in risk factors. Now, earlier I've seen numbers that are a little bit higher than the numbers we see up here, where it says about 100,000 new melanomas will be diagnosed and about 8,290 people will be expected to die from melanoma. I've seen another article where those numbers were a little bit higher, but one number or the couple of numbers that stayed the same are the 1 in 33, the 0.1, and the 0.5%. So now what I want to do is do a side by side, and I want to show you something else real quick if I can find it. Let me get this address. Here we go, right here. Boom. Now, show you this real quick side by side, and these numbers are staggering, right? I want to pull up on this other side as well. I want to pull up the same thing, right? Because now I want to show the same article side by side, but different parts of the article, all right? So now on this chart, you see non-whites are in blue, the whites are in red. This article is going to tell you in the 1950s, right here, the proportion of the whites in the U.S. population started to decline in the 1950s. It fell gradually over the years, eventually reaching over 6% in 2018, the lowest percentage ever recorded. And we're going to get much deeper on that as well. Although the majority of the U.S. population today is still white, non-whites account for more than half of the population. Hawaii, the District of Columbia, California, New Mexico, Texas, and Nevada. And in the next 10 to 15 years, these half-dozen majority minority states will likely be joined by as many as 8 other states where whites now make up less than 60% of the population. Now, we're going to go back up here to this chart right here. Now, check out this chart right here. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by... First, we're going to go behind the trends. Why are the numbers of white people declining? And why are the non-white numbers increasing? This answer is the basic demographic: births, deaths, and immigration. White women have an average of 1.7 children over their lifetime, while Latina women have an average of 2.2%. The total fertility rates of blacks, Asians, and American Indians are in between. So whites have fewer births than all non-white groups. There are also big differences in age structure. 62% of Latinas 15 years of age or older are of childbearing age. Only 42% of white women fall into this group. Latinos also have a lower mortality rate than whites. Demographers call this epidemiological paradox. We can definitely get into that. That's a whole article on that. Now check out this article, this chart. I did another video that highlighted this chart, this exact chart. But this, I want to get a little bit deeper tonight, like I said, and show the reason why I truly feel we see 2 things that's happening, that's big in politics and in the world. The decline, the abortions being stopped, and all these wars around the world in these non-white countries. Because in 2016, what was this right here? 2015-16 area, the deaths rose higher than births in the Caucasian race. In 2015, for the first time, there were more white deaths in the U.S. than white births. Indeed, as of 2016, in 26 states, whites were dying faster than they were being born. Now you get it. Now you see why there's a major push for abortions. Because whites are dying faster than they were being born. The states with more whites than the states with more white deaths than white births include California, Florida, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. How about immigration to the U.S.? Of the more than 43 million foreign-born people living in the U.S. in 2015, 82% originated in the Latin America and Asia. Only 11% were born in Europe. So whites don't increase their representation in the U.S. via immigration either. Now you see what I'm saying? For the future of whiteness, the aging white population alongside a more youthful minority population, especially in the case of Latinos, will result in the U.S. becoming a minority country in around 2044. So, check this out. I could go further, but now check this out. I'm gonna click on, where is that at? Okay, we're gonna go here. We're gonna go here. Boom. Melanoma in young adults. Now, when we talk about the childbearing years, the 15 to 39, you would think that they would at least have a chance there, where they'll have a push for, their childbearing cohorts to have, childbearing years to start, the childbearing cohorts in their childbearing years to start having children. But melanoma and other factors such as opioids and melanoma and the lifestyle changes and the mortality rate and interracial sex and marriage is still driving their numbers down even between 15 and 39. Now check this out. This is from the Moffitt Cancer Center, and it talks about melanoma in young adults. And this drives my point even further why two things is happening in the world we see as well. This is why between 15 and 39, black men and black women are being killed so fast, because they have to keep the numbers equal between 15 and 39 to at least give themselves a chance, right? So check this out. Few people expect melanoma to develop in young adults. Most skin cancers are the result of years of cumulative sun exposure, so physicians rarely expect to see someone in their teens or 20s have melanoma. However, that doesn't mean it's impossible. According to the Skin Cancer Foundation, melanoma is the second most common type of skin cancer diagnosed for 15 to 19-year-olds, and the most common form of skin cancer affecting young adults of the ages of 25 to 29. Many of these diagnoses are made in female patients, but young men can develop melanoma as well. So that's even more damaging, because the young women are catching it. So if the young women are catching it, then they don't even have nobody to deposit their children into. Now, on a quick tangent, real quick before I keep going, this is the reason why I feel the black woman is the Noah's Ark for these people, because in their time of trouble, they need to put their seed inside of the most beautiful black woman, or any black woman they can find, preferably the most beautiful, the most smart, so when the ark opens back up, they'll be there. Because right now, this is a major time of trouble for the white race. And the only person that can carry them through this time of trouble is someone with very dark skin, which is the African American or the African, or someone with darker skin. All right? Not only can melanoma develop in young individuals, but it can also develop as a result of lifestyle choices a person establishes during a teen years and in their early 20s. Most notably, people who habitually tan during adolescence and young adulthood have a higher risk of developing melanoma skin cancer later on in life. Sustaining just 5 sunburns as a teenager can make an adult 80% more likely to develop melanoma during their lifetime. I really don't have to go no further than that. This is the decline of the Caucasian race is what's driving a couple of things. To me, I could go further and name even more, but I'm just trying to stay brief with it. When it's driving the stoppage of abortion, it's driving the wars in all the non-white countries, and I truly believe it is driving the rap music and the detrimental music to the black community, and the killing and the food, and just trying their best to equal their numbers out as even as possible. I read an article where they said once you get to a certain level of decline, there is no coming back from that. So if that's true, the only way they can bring their numbers back up is through war, abortion, and just some of the most heinous crimes to bring the world population down. Now it all makes sense. This is why they want to decline the numbers of the population. It's not too many people in the world. It's not enough of them in the world. It's too many people that don't look like them in the world. So this is why the carbon footprint has to be destroyed. I hope this is making sense. I try my best not to get too wordy or technical with the numbers, but I'm just trying to let y'all know the white race is in a time of trouble, and this is why we see the immigration. This is why we see the wars across the world, and this is why we see the stoppage of abortions. Right? Please like, comment, share. And until then, you have a good day.